Police in Pulaski County take to the sky to track down an inmate an hour after he escaped from custody.
She was charged with murdering her 3-year-old step-granddaughter, but today a Boyle County woman took a lesser deal.
Just days after a for-profit college in Lexington closed, employees who lost their jobs returned for their belongings.
This is WKYT News at 5:30.
Good evening to you, and thanks for watching WKYT. A Southern Kentucky man who police say escaped from custody is speaking out from jail tonight.
Police in Pulaski County say they first caught Anthony Schulteis in a stolen car, but because the Sally Port at the jail was full, booking other suspects at the time, the officer had to walk him into jail, and that's when Schulteis escaped. WKYT's Phil Pendleton has more on how the suspect was finally caught and why he says he ran in the first place. It's our top story at 5:30.
It would be true to say that Anthony Schulteis had an eventful morning, and he says he has the cuts, scrapes, and bruises to prove it. So much that during our interview at the Pulaski County Jail, he wanted to show me.
I thought it was, kind of messed up that, I should even run from a car that wasn't even stolen.
Police say that's how the morning started for Schulteis. They say he was found in a stolen car, but the arresting officer could not pull in the Sally Port because it was packed with other prisoners. As the officer tried to walk him in, they say he took off.
The reason why I ran was because of the disrespect I was getting from the officer because I had a pack of cigarettes in my pocket.
Somerset police launched their gyroplane to assist. They say Schulteis was found in a thick area of trees and bushes. Police say that's why he was found with so many cuts and scrapes, trying to run from them.
He was located under a small rock embankment, trying to hide under about a 3-foot rock from the officers.
He's now facing multiple charges, including escape and receiving stolen property, but he's not facing drug charges. Yet he says drugs may have had something to do with his recent behavior.
I'm going to admit I was cooking a batch of methamphetamines at my sister's house in Science Hill.
Police say that Schulteis was captured rather quickly thanks to their gyroplane, other officers, and a bloodhound called in to help. In Pulaski County, Phil Pendleton, WKYT.
Police say the car that Schulteis was in had been reported stolen to the sheriff's office on September 1st. They say they also discovered a large knife in the car. A Boyle County woman accused of killing her step-granddaughter appeared in court today.
Shiloh Rayleigh was charged with murder in the 2014 death of 3-year-old Alexa Rayleigh. State police say Alexa died from blunt force trauma. In court today, Rayleigh pled guilty to a lesser charge. Sabira Rayford has more.
It's been more than 2 years since Sheila Rayleigh was arrested and charged with murdering her 3-year-old step-granddaughter. And today she pled guilty in court, but not to murder. Instead, Rayleigh appeared in court today to plead guilty to second-degree manslaughter. Back in 2014, she was arrested nearly 6 months after her step-grandchild's death. Kentucky State Police say the toddler Alexi Rayleigh died from blunt force trauma to her abdomen. She was taken to a local hospital in Danville, then was flown to UK Hospital where she died. Alexa's father lives here in Boyle County, and her mother lives in Lexington. Sheila was given a $1 million bond for the murder. Initially, she entered a not guilty plea to the murder of the child. Alexa's mom, Jessica Young, showed up to the hearing. She did not want to go on camera at this time, but she told us, quote, "She pled guilty. That's what we wanted. She'll be marked guilty for life." The recommended sentence for Rayleigh is 5 years. In Boyle County, Sabira Rayford, WKYT.
A bond wasn't set earlier because the Commonwealth's attorney was still deciding if they were going to seek the death penalty. Well, after another sunny September day, storms look to be on their way back to the bluegrass.
And those storms will bring in some cooler air. WKYT Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey is tracking the changes. And Chris, we need the rain.
Yeah, you hear the people out there cheering on the storms. Bring that cool air in here as well. And that's coming later this weekend. Still got a few steamy days to fight through. Right now, live Skycam showing some clouds into Frankfort, where parts of Franklin County, and I'm talking about a small piece of real estate, a couple of yards, had a couple of sprinkles on top of them earlier. More blue sky, though, into the Moorhead area. Everybody upper 80s to around 90 for the better part of the day. Here is your Defender Radar Network. Nothing across most areas, but we take you in across the Bluegrass region. Don't blink, you'll miss those isolated showers that pass through the area very quickly. Thunderstorms, though, just to the north of the Ohio River. That is with front number 1. That is getting ready to press on toward the south and southeast, and later tonight into the day tomorrow. Some of the action you see into parts of Indiana, Illinois, and Missouri will be on top of central and eastern Kentucky. So that is at least some good news. Out this evening, small chance for a storm or two. Otherwise, mainly dry conditions, low 70s showing up by 11 o'clock or so. Winds are gusty, and I'll show you why those winds will eventually blow some big changes into the area when I come back in a little less than 10 minutes.
A man charged with the murder of a pastor and his wife earlier this year has pleaded not guilty. Our county by county coverage at 5:30 begins in Butler County. Kenneth and Dorothy Neefus were found dead in their home on Richland Church Road in August. Police arrested Kevin Dye, who lived about 6 miles from the couple, after they found a gun in his bedroom. Neighbors living close to Dye say before the murders there was a rash of break-ins near his house.
I had been warned to watch out by the police officer that had come here questioning us.
Dye is due in court again on November 7th. KSP has not said how Dye was made a suspect in the case. In Boyd County, the Ashland Police Department faces some backlash over a post on social media. A post on the Ashland Police Department's Facebook page last night warning drug users about heroin in the region contaminated with the Zika virus. The post goes on to offer a free screening on any heroin brought in to make sure it hasn't been contaminated. That post has since been deleted, and the department later issued a statement saying it was in no way meant to be humorous and that, quote, this has been a tactic throughout the country in attempts to get those addicted and/or families to deter use. Ashland police say some of the comments associated with the post went in another direction from the intended goal.
Employees for ITT Tech here in Lexington were back at school today to pick up their personal belongings just days after learning the for-profit college would close. The school closed permanently Tuesday after the U.S. Department of Education said it would no longer provide financial aid for students. Laura Miner has more.
The doors opened here at ITT Tech for a short amount of time for employees. They were told they could go in and grab all personal belongings. We spoke with one of those employees off camera who told us that the ITT staff were sent an email last Friday. In that email, they said they were going to extend their Labor Day weekend by giving all employees Tuesday, September 6th off as an extra comp holiday. That following Tuesday, they received the email that the school would not reopen. A campus administrator told us today that the staff did not receive any additional information about the school closure before Tuesday, and that students and staff were being told the same thing. Students also gathered outside the school this morning. A few received text messages from their instructors to come pick up their degrees and unofficial transcripts.
I'm glad we did get our degree. So, I mean, compared to what some have lost, some have to start all over.
The students I spoke with today said they hope to move forward from this and further their career. In Lexington, Lauren Miner, WKYT.
The campus administrator told us their main focus right now is taking care of their students.
More than 100 miners in eastern Kentucky face layoffs. Alpha Natural Resources issued a notice to employees of Sidney Cole and Pike County, as well as Maxim Shared Services. In all, 117 people are being laid off. Company officials say the layoffs are in response to the company idling the mine later this year. Thousands of mine workers and their supporters rallied on the National Mall today, demanding health care and retirement benefits. The group is asking Congress to pass the Miners Protection Act. The bill would give retired miners nearly $500 million in health care and retirement benefits. If Congress doesn't act, the United Mine Workers of America says the funds could run out by next year.
It means I might have to go back to work somewhere and find a job that I could do. I don't know what I could do, that would have some kind of health care insurance.
The Miners Protection Act could get a Senate committee vote next week.
If you have driven downtown Lexington lately, you will notice a lot of teal ribbons, and those ribbons are the focus of today's Good Question. What is the significance of all the ribbons on the light poles along Main Street? Well, all of those ribbons are a reminder of what can be a silent killer in women, ovarian cancer. September is Ovarian Cancer Awareness Month, and teal is the signature color for it. In 2014, a group first put out 110 teal ribbons along Main Street and at the UK Markey Cancer Centre. The ribbons were part of a national campaign known as Turn the Town's Teal movement to raise awareness about the deadly disease. Each year, 22,000 women will be diagnosed in the U.S., and sadly, just as many will die from the disease. For more information, you can go to www.turnthetownsteal.org. And to submit a good question, you can send an email to goodquestion@wkyt.com.
A photo of a Louisville teenager's act of kindness is inspiring people around the world. The story in about 6 minutes on WKYT.
I'm Bill Bryant. Both Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump lay out strategies for defeating ISIS. And longtime Fayette County Commonwealth's attorney Ray Larson is stepping down. The bottom line is ahead.
Welcome back. Last night marked the first time in the presidential campaign that both Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump appeared at the same event.
Bill Bryant has the details in the bottom line.
Good evening. Presidential candidates Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump are back out on the campaign trail after appearing at the same venue last night. Today, Clinton criticized Trump for saying on a televised forum that some U.S. generals have been reduced to rubble. Trump said he has a private plan for defeating ISIS, but also said he would demand generals to give him a strategy to take on the Islamic extremist group within 30 days of taking office. At a commander-in-chief forum, both candidates talked about how they would take on ISIS.
We are not putting ground troops into Iraq ever again, and we're not putting ground troops into Syria. We're going to defeat ISIS without committing American ground troops. So those are the kinds of decisions we have to make on a case-by-case basis.
And if you really look at the aftermath of Iraq, Iran is going to be taking over Iraq. They've been doing it, and it's not a pretty picture. And I think you know, and because you've been watching me, I think for a long time, I've always said, shouldn't be there, but if we're going to get out, take the oil. If we would have taken the oil, you wouldn't have ISIS, because ISIS formed with the power and the wealth of that oil.
On another issue, Clinton is supporting a bill that would protect health care and pension benefits for about 120,000 former coal miners and their families. Kentucky Senator Mitch McConnell, the Republican majority leader, is not for the current measure. He said it creates a dangerous precedent for bailing out unions. Longtime Fayette County Commonwealth's attorney Ray Larson is stepping down effective October 1st. Larson issued a statement this afternoon saying that he was driven to treat every person fairly and believed that criminals should always be punished. Larson became nationally known over his almost 32 years as the DA here in Lexington. Governor Bevin will appoint his replacement. Bill Bryant, WKYT.
A teenager from West Louisville is inspiring people around the world. This picture of 14-year-old LaRon Tunstall giving his shoes to a homeless man has gone viral. LaRon is a member of the group Me, a group helping children find their purpose. LaRon says he didn't expect all the attention. He was just doing what he thought was right.
That man told me his story, and, it just made me sad. So, I had to do something to make him, at least feel like he has a family. So I just gave him my shoe, just to tell him, just do something right with these and don't do something wrong with them.
It was a small act of kindness for sure. Me has several groups around the community.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
Gusty winds and another dry day in the books for many of us across central and eastern Kentucky. Live sky cam, and you'll notice the trees that are kind of swaying in the breeze. At times today, that breeze was a gust around 20-25 miles an hour. 89 Lexington, winds out of the southwest around 14 miles an hour. Humidity still pretty low. We're going to jack up the humidity over the next couple of days. Upper 80s to around 90. Most of central and eastern Kentucky. Heat index really not a big player today. more humidity, though, coming into the mix over the next few days. And with the increase in humidity, you'll start to see that Defender radar network showing some more showers and some thunderstorms. Look at all the clouds that are off to our west. And a broken band of some thunderstorms, parts of the Indianapolis area, a break in the action, then it kind of connects again here into Illinois and Missouri. That's kind of what we're getting in on for the day tomorrow. Then that cooler brand of air comes behind this bad boy that is heading into the Plain States. That arrives on Saturday. So a pretty active pattern that I'm seeing setting up over the next couple of weeks for the month of September. How we are now, I don't think is indicative of how we're going to be over the next couple of weeks. More of a yo-yo ride for the temperatures. Tomorrow, any one moment, any one area can see a thunderstorm. But several areas may not see much tomorrow. We're into the 80s with a little increase in the cloud cover. Hour by hour forecast that'll try to get in on a shower or thunderstorm into parts of northern Kentucky tonight. Through the area tomorrow, notice how you have more clouds. And look at noon tomorrow, where you have some sun, southeastern Kentucky, 86, a little cloud cover, Frankfort, 77, with an isolated shower or two. And those temperatures tomorrow afternoon around 5 o'clock as we kick off the weekend, and high school football tomorrow evening will be dropping from the low 80s into the low 70s by 11 o'clock. And if you're out at a high school game tomorrow night, there is a chance for an isolated shower or thunderstorm. A little better shot as we go into the day on Saturday. Saturday's a day that can spike to 90 ahead of a cold front and ahead of a line of showers and thunderstorms. Winds are going to crank as well, and you see that 90, Ashland, Prestonsburg, yet behind that boundary, the air is dropping quickly. If you're planning something outside Saturday evening, a lot of the showers and storms for central Kentucky will be off to our east. Cooler winds are blowing at mid-50s when you wake up Sunday morning. For much of the area, that is because of high pressure that is coming on into town. No changes to this forecast. We'll start the day in the 50s. We will end it into the 70s, drier air, and a quick drop by 11 o'clock Sunday evening. With such dry air in place, we could see a few upper 50s already showing up by then, and 50-ish, give or take a degree or two, to start out a brand new week on Monday morning. And you're looking at this, you're seeing the thunderstorm, and you're thinking, boy, it's going to rain all the time. It is not going to rain all the time tomorrow. It is not going to rain all the time on Saturday. That Saturday is mainly into the afternoon with a line of thunderstorms. 75 absolutely fabulous degrees for your Sunday, with lows by Monday morning around 50. Could be another shower storm by the end of next week.
All right, let's hear it for Sunday.
Yeah, Sunday looks good.
Thanks, Chris.
New collision on the inner loop of the circle near Russell Cave. Police are in the process of clearing that one. Cleared the trouble that we had at Citation and Newtown Pike. Drive times holding their own still to Nicholasville, less than 15 minutes. To Versailles, about 10 or 11. Now back to you in the studio.
Brian is in now. Tim Tebow has signed to play pro baseball.
Yeah, his never say die attitude is paid off again, and the football Wildcats hoping their work will pay off Saturday. UK has to find a way to keep its defense from playing too many minutes. Sports is next. After giving up 34 unanswered points in that 34 unanswered points in that 44-35 loss to Southern Miss, the UK defensive group called a players-only team meeting before heading to the Swamp on Saturday. The defense could not get off the field. Time of possession completely lopsided. Southern Miss had the ball for more than 40 minutes. That meant the UK defense was on the field most of the night. Guys like linebacker Courtney Love played all 95 snaps. UK has to find a way to get more guys into the game.
This is football, and that's what we prepared for. You know, we had a tough fall camp, and, you know, I relied on my conditioning and just mental strength to push through and finish the game. I got in the hot tub and the cold tub a little bit, but other than that, you know, I was just excited to be back out there. And, you know, obviously didn't go out the way we wanted to, but we're going to work. We worked on that this week, and we're going to continue working on that. Saturday, we're going to get ready to go down to Florida and play some ball.
So the Wildcats will try to escape the Swamp Saturday afternoon at 3:30. WKYT is the best place to see it. Immediately following, you can join us for a special edition of WKYT Game Time. Mark Stoops' post-game press conference live from the Swamp in Gainesville. EKU has its home opener tonight. The Pikeville Bears are in Richmond for the first time ever meeting between these two schools. The Colonels will be without quarterback Benny Coney, who was knocked out of the game at Purdue. Matty Mock getting the start last week, but Mark Elder said redshirt sophomore Tyler Swafford will play at quarterback tonight against UPike.
We think very highly of both of those guys. As I said before, Matty got the start because throughout the entirety of fall camp, when you put it all together, he had put the best on film at that point in time. But we felt that we had three very capable quarterbacks. And Tyler Swafford went out there, if I remember the numbers right, he was 5'6", led us down there for a touchdown drive. It was really neat to see him do that.
Former EKU quarterback Al Holland Jr. leads his 2-0 Bears into Roy Kidd Stadium tonight. Mark Elder in search of his first win with the Colonels. You can watch that game on the OVC Digital Network beginning at 7 o'clock. Former Florida quarterback and Heisman Trophy winner Tim Tebow out of football for a season or two has signed a minor league baseball contract with the New York Mets. The 29-year-old will begin his baseball odyssey with the Mets Instructional League. Tebow has not played baseball since his junior year of high school 12 years ago. And hey, buddy, I haven't played in 20 years. I may give it a crack, too. That's sports. We'll be right back.